Hello, dear foodie friends, and welcome to Kitchen Chat. I'm your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I am so excited to be here with Lidia Bastianich at her restaurant Becco's in New York City for a kitchen chat and to celebrate her new cookbook. Thank you so much, Lidia, for this opportunity.
Margaret, it's a pleasure having you.
Well, we're members of Les Dames together, so we'll have to chat about that as well. But first and foremost, let's celebrate your new cookbook. What was the inspiration?
Well, Margaret, this is my 16th book.
Oh my goodness.
You know, it's, I just love putting it down, but I respond to my viewers out there, you know, and my customers and whatever.
Yes.
And this book is especially in response to, they always ask me, Lidia, what are the recipes that your children love the most? What do you cook at home? What is your mother's favorite recipe? And so on down the line. In other words, the family tradition of favorite recipes. So I gather them here, 4 generations.
4 generations,
Yeah.
right here. And I'm sure you don't have a favorite one, right?
No, I don't. You're right.
So what are some highlights, though? What are some recipes that our viewers will really savor?
Of course, you know, one of them, it's on the forefront, the appetizer, the eggplant rollatini.
Oh.
Eggplant rollatini, easy to make, everybody loves it, and it was my mother's favorite. You know, my mother passed away 2 years ago, and so the book is dedicated to her. And she was known because she would come on the show all the time, so everybody knew her. But she loved eggplant rollatini, and so in her tribute, and I love it, and it's easy to make. That's one of them. The other one, we make a lot of soups at home, especially with the seasons. You know, I love soups. Soups are so, because soups are good when you have small children in between, when you have older people. You know, soups are good for everybody, and you can make them, freeze them, and you just pull them out. So there is gnocchi con gris, which are a little gnocchi that we make with farina. It's an old traditional thing, very simple, and with a good chicken stock. That's another one of our favorites. And then, of course, is also the regular potato gnocchis.
Oh, yum!
Yeah, and you can dress potato gnocchis with tomatoes, with the marinara, with butter and cheese, with gorgonzola. But my grandmother, my mother's mother, used to make the sauce out of the chicken gnocchi, like a long stewed, you know, one of those courtyard chickens that took a while to cook, but gave you a delicious flavor, delicious sauce. And so the recipe is with that. And the palacinques, the desserts, the crepes, you know, and of course my one of the recipes that my grandmother made it. My mother made it for us. I made it for my children, and my children and I still make it for my grandchildren, is chicken and potatoes in a cast iron pan. Yes. Chunks of potatoes, pieces of chicken, rosemary, onions, nice big pieces of onions, salt and pepper, and nothing else. Just kind of let it simmer slowly, and the humidity, the sort of of the onions, of the chicken, all that sort of kept everything moist, but at the same time it got caramelized. But you know, sometimes when you cook and you braise something and you put a lot of liquid, a lot of the flavors come out of the meats or whatever, and make a good sauce.
Yes.
But in this case, the flavors stay in. It gets nice and caramelized, and it's simple to make. So that's one of our favorites.
Oh, I love this. A foodie friend from Alabama, Kathy, wrote in and asked, what is an easy soup? Are there any easy soup recipes that might be in here? Okay.
Plenty of soups that are easy. I make a rice and potato soup. All you need is carrots, celery, potatoes, tomato paste, and rice. And then, of course, cheese rinds, you know? You know, when you break the grana padano, the cheese, and you have those rinds and you wonder, you gotta always save them. And put them in the soup, and they make a delicious soup. So that's a very easy soup. And it's in this. But I have there's a split pea soup in a sense. You know, split pea American is one way, but we used a lot of dry legumes in Italy. You know, it's the winter kind of elements to use. Lentils, split peas, and beans, a lot of beans. So there's quite a few soups. I like soups.
Yes. Oh, I love that. So Kathy, you have lots of soup recipes in here, and we're going to have a link to this cookbook online so you can check this out. So Italy, let's talk about Italy and then Italy. I mean, there is so much to talk about foodie-wise with you in addition to this great cookbook. What do you have going on in Italy that our foodie friends might be interested in?
Just a little new one opened downtown, sort of a smaller version of Italy. And one in Toronto, another one in Toronto. So it's the second one in Toronto. So this is the new openings of Italy in the US and Canada territory. And of course, this is the ideal time of the year. Because, us Italians, with our tradition of panettone, frittelle, and all kinds of goodies, truffles and all of that. So it's very festive to go in there. And, it kind of brings Italy here.
Yes, it does. And speaking of that, it was so much fun. I'm from the Chicago area, as you know. Just celebrated the launch of Giuliana Rancic's new Prosecco at Italy.
Oh, okay.
That was a fun celebration and delicious as well. And my daughter and her husband and my grandson live in Toronto. So when I was visiting them, I stopped by Italy, and it's fabulous.
Toronto has a big Italian immigrant population.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was surprised initially when I went out, the response.
Yes.
And these are all people from Italy, so it was fun.
Oh.
It's a fun city. It's growing so fast.
It is, and it's very special. I have another grandbaby on the way, so it's extra special.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very special. So you have been opening up businesses. I mean, I'm so impressed. You are truly the epitome of a woman entrepreneur and all that you continue to do and all that you have done. Do you have any words of inspiration for women out there either looking to open up something in the food or food product? What advice would you have?
I think you got to just go out there and do it. But you got to make sure that you prepare yourself, that you're ready. I get a lot of time, especially young women that are becoming chefs, that want to become chefs. What kind of advice will you give them? Advice number one, don't think of yourself in a gender mode. Think of yourself as professional. What is your profession? What do you want to be? You want to be a chef? You want to be a baker? An entrepreneur eventually? Because if you have those elements, those trades good under your belt and you're good at it, you can turn, of course, that into business, and that's the way it works. You have to be prepared. So don't consider yourself as gender, just as a professional. Whatever you go, you do. Male, female, doesn't enter the game. Are you professional? Are you prepared enough? Go out there and do it. And if not, invest in yourself and prepare yourself and make sure that what's important, Mara, and you must know, is the fact of sort of surrounding yourself with mentors.
Yes.
People that have the experience, that have done things. There's so much that you can, as a young entrepreneur or professional growing up and going into there's so much that you can learn from mentors. Yes. So what's important I think, is that you find these mentors, people that you admire. And of course, the Le Dame organization is a great one at that. We have so many great women there.
Definitely.
And they're all willing to mentor.
Yes.
Okay. So get yourself into organizations that you can connect with the mentors, get mentored, work for those people, and not necessarily, it's a learning process. It's not like you can change the job. Okay, you spent 1 year with Lidia, let's say. I think I learned everything I can from Lidia. I'm moving on, and that's okay. And I understand that as a young, growing entrepreneur or professional, that you need to grow. So invest in yourself, believe in yourself, go out, and then, of course, the opportunities that come along. Opportunities come by. You got to recognize them, you got to investigate them, and then you have to make a choice whether you're going to take that opportunity or not.
I love that, and you have taken some great chances and great opportunities and built something so delicious. I mean, an incredible, incredible food empire, which continues to expand. Tell us about Kansas City.
Well, Kansas City's been, we have the restaurant there, and it's been there are quite a few years, and we're doing well. And I love Kansas City. And it's sort of this, when the kids, my children came in, my son, also Becco here, he was the one that opened Becco, actually. We did together, but he was the one that kind of got the idea, and this is what he wanted. He got the real estate. He recognized the importance of being in the theater district, you know? You know, people have dinner before they go to the theater. It really works. And he also, they were, you know, Ma, there's a whole America out there. We're in New York, that's fine. And that's how we started to Kansas City. Then, of course, then we are in LA with Nancy Silverton also. The kids are partners with La Mozza. They're just, because my daughter and my son, so just after COVID, I decided that maybe, you know, I was 50 years in the business, in restaurant business. I opened my first restaurant in 71, that it was time for me to relax a little bit. That doesn't mean that I still write the books, the television, and still go around the restaurants to work with the chefs. But when I decided to, okay, take it easy, the two of them really took over. And they got involved 2 years ago with a young man that had a sandwich shop in Florence, L'Antico Vinaio. And L'Antico Vinaio is where this wonderful big focaccia sandwich, still steaming focaccia because it's made on the premises. The cold cuts are sliced at la minute, and it has this beautiful kind of pistachio kind of mayonnaise, if you will, you know, spread or whatever. All these kind of different spreads to put on the sandwiches. And so far, they partnered with him. So far, we have 3 in New York. They have 3 in New York, Antico Vinaio. There's one in Las Vegas, one in Santa Monica. So that's the new frontier of moving on with the food industry. And of course, you know, I'm with the books. We have also, I get involved because we have a winery in Friuli.
In Italy?
In Italy.
Tell
we have a winery.
us about that.
Friuli, it's actually an hour north of Venice. Beautiful. It's a great area for Italian whites and some really good red. So, Bastianich.com.
Okay.
They can take them and you can see all the varietals. And we've been there already 15 years. We started, my son is passionate about wine. We went there just, you know, okay, we're going to buy a home in Italy, you know, for us to have. But of course, this home had a vineyard. But of course, we ended up, what are you going to do with the vineyard, with the grape? You're going to do wine.
Yes.
And so we did. And we also have one, La Mozza, Lamozza, in Maremma. That's so lamozza.com. That's the one in Maremma. We have some great reds from Maremma. So we're busy with that, you know, with dinners, with selling, promoting, and whatever. Exactly. It's fun. It's all part of a good table.
I love that. I love that. It's all part of a good table. And today we are at the table at Becco's, and I love Lavazza. We have to do a shout out to Lavazza. Delicious, delicious cappuccino. Thank you so much. Can the foodie friends find the wines in Italy?
The wines are in Italy, but if they go to bastianich.com,
they can just go there.
They will find.
Perfect.
And also in Italy, they can find, because we have Lidia sauces, you know.
Yes.
I make the sauces, so the marinara, they're all organic, they're kosher, they're and no MGOs, GMOs, so marinara, artichokes, spicy al brucio, you know, hot spicy sauce. So very vegetable sauce, tomato vegetables, all tomato based, simple, and really good. Vegetarians, all vegetarians, so they can find them on, but also on Amazon and whatever they can find.
No, that is great. You can have the one-stop shop, but you can also taste the deliciousness at the different restaurants. And if you're in New York City, definitely stop by here as well. What is the specialty here at Becco?
Well, Becco, you know, what we're really known for, and because there's quite a volume here because of the people that go to the theater. So, you know, always the idea is of making good pasta and making it in a volume, it's always difficult. So we have a concept here, we always had it from the beginning, people love it, that you come for dinner and you order the 3 daily pasta. And the chef every day changes the pastas. There's a homemade pasta, I think today was gnocchi with gorgonzola. It was the fusilli with shrimp and broccoli and garlic and oil. And it was trenette al pomodoro. That was today.
Wow.
And so they come in pans, you know.
Yes.
And the waiters come out. And so when you order that course, you get a nice Caesar salad and then the plate. And the waiters come around with the pan and just serve you each pasta, whatever. And they can have seconds or whatever if they want more. So you know the pasta trio here works very well. We do that also in Kansas City.
Oh, perfect.
And that does well.
Oh, lots of options. Are you doing vineyard tours at all in Italy?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's not personally that, but if they decide to go, again, Bastianich.com and mention, you know, Lidia fan, Joe's fan, and whatever, and you set up an appointment. And actually, right there across the street, there's a little 5-room inn and a little restaurant, so they can be very comfortable, visit the vineyard, and taste the wine.
This just sounds wonderful. Wow. I know that your many shows have inspired so many cookbooks. Now, I understand there's something special coming up very soon. Can you share with us about that?
Absolutely. You know, it's been, as I said, 50 years in the restaurant business, 16 cookbooks, 25 years on public television. And I am so proud of that. So, public television is going to honor me with a special. There's going to be a 1-hour special on December 18th, I think at 8 o'clock, prime time, across the United States, Growing Up with Lidia. And it actually will have my sort of journey, my story, also go back where I was born. And, you know, because I was born in Istria, Istria became communist Yugoslavia, because Istria was Italian. Then the war, Italy lost that territory. So we were caught under communism. We escaped back in Italy. We spent 2 years in refugee camp and ultimately came here in 1958. So that's part of my journey, part of my story, part of why I also, you know, am so grateful and appreciate so much the opportunity that we got as a family here in the United States. I mean, there's no place in the world that you can get these opportunities that you have here. And, you know, I can't talk enough about it and be thankful that I had this opportunity. And when you get this opportunity, I told you, look at the opportunities. You got to make the most of it. You got to prepare yourself. You got to work hard. You got to work hard and make that opportunity happen. So there were, you know, the first opportunity of being accepted to come to America, and then all the other opportunities that follow, because America is full of opportunities. You know, if you're true to form, if you're a professional, if you're ready to work, and you know, sometimes, Margaret, what I think the opportunities and that I have, that my children have, my grandchildren have, you know, I know how grateful I am, and sometimes, you know, you listen to America, and I feel it's being maligned, and it's not the way it should be. You know, we need to appreciate and give back to this great country, whoever you are, from wherever you come.
Yes, and you are living the American dream, and you are sharing the American dream. During this season, Lidia, what are some special charities that are on your heart? We have a new series called Gifts from the Heart.
Oh my goodness, I can't, should I name them all? I have a special for children, so therefore, you know, St. Jude's and the cancer, absolutely for children. Actually, I'm just working with one of my grandsons. There's 2 homes set up by the Jesuits for here in New York for young men coming out of Rikers Island, out of prison, and not having any place to go. So they keep them in their home. So I was just talking with the chef downstairs. I said, you know, we're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner early with my family, but after that, I would want to go to these homes and give them a Thanksgiving dinner to these young men mostly, because you know the men are separated from the women, and this my grandson Lorenzo started from his school when he was at Regis, started going to the prison and reading with this young man, you know, and sort of trying to lead them to see that there's other options for them in life. So I'm looking forward to do this. Also, I just accepted a board position on the Jesuit refugees, and I did for them a fundraiser, a benefit, where we fundraised to build. You know that refugee children, when they end up in camp, and I was 2 years in camp, they lose, on the average, 2 years of their education. So, you know, when they come, wherever they come, if they settle, hopefully, they are behind. So we did this fundraiser to build schools in refugee camps, and that's, you know, across the world, not only in America. So you know, I mean, I don't have enough time. I would like to do 1,001 things.
Yes, this, and we'll
and
try
you know
to,
what? I'll tell you what.
Tell me.
A little thing.
Yes.
You know, you get these things where children have cleft palate.
Yes.
And you know what I did last year? I'm thinking what I'm going to do this year. And I think it's whatever the price is to do that. And my grandchildren, I have 5, I says, this is your gift, but it is going to, so that each one of you will, with your gift from Grandma, will support the operation of one of the children that have cleft palates, so that they can be normal, so that they can grow up. Because that's so easy to fix.
Yes.
And it gives them such, it inhibits them so much to be out in the world and competitive. And so little things like that.
Oh, I think that's Operation Smile.
Yes.
Yes,
exactly.
we'll make sure we have a link to that.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
I just love your heart for charity, and as we all know, charity begins in the kitchen, and you are doing so many great things. I want to raise a glass to Dom Carol Brock, who was the founder of Les Dames. The last time, as you may recall, I had a kitchen chat with Lydia was with Dom Carol Brock as well.
She was my neighbor, you know. I used to walk to her house.
Oh, wow.
And that's how, and Hassan still lives there. And during COVID and all that, I would bring, you know, I would make, you know, and there was another elderly couple, and I would make extra soups and whatever and bring to them. But she was, you know, she was active. I mean, let me tell you, I think I'm in Les Dames close to 30 years now, at the founding sort of. And what she did is one day, because she lived in walking distance from me, she knocked on my door and she says, Lydia, how you doing? What's up? I says, Lydia, you are a Dom. You're going to become a Dom. And I said, I am. And I said, what is a Dom? And she had just founded this organization, and she inducted me right there and then, and I have been there ever since.
I love that. And she leaves an amazing legacy with all of these chapters around the world. And
she was a visionary.
Truly, truly. And you continue to be a visionary with all that you're doing. And foodie friends, you're going to have to get this cookbook. Once again, I will have a link on Kitchen Chat. Any other highlights that you want to share about this cookbook, about anything you're up to? I want to make sure we're all connected.
Well, you know, this cookbook is close to her, but I want to really emphasize and tell them that if you watch me, you know that I am about transmitting this knowledge and these capabilities. You know, I even say to people that email me, I'm with you in the kitchen. It's simple. Go for it. Just do it. And so I want to emphasize that these recipes are family, are flavorful, are very Lydia-esque,
I love that.
shall we say? But they're easy to do. That's the whole thing. It's as a professional chef. If I work in the kitchen or restaurant or whatever, and you want to elaborate, the guests are here for a true experience. But when I communicate out there, you're out at home, and I want you to be able to produce that. And so I make it as simple as possible and as tasty as possible.
Oh, thank you for making life so delicious with all that you do and continue to do. And foodie friends, please get the book. I cannot wait to look at Bastianich.com to book a vineyard tour. How cool would that be?
It's 1 hour north of Venice. So if you're driving, 1 hour will get you there, and you can ask them. As I said, there's a 5-room a little inn there, very practical.
Yes.
And then from there on, you are, I would say, 15 minutes from Slovenia. So you're on the border. Austria, Vienna, maybe is another 5-6 hours, but it's right up there. You're right under the Alps, and it's beautiful.
This just sounds so wonderful. One thing I always like to share with the foodie friends, because I never had a chance to meet her, is Julia Child. Do you have a special story about Julia Child that you would like to share?
Well, she was just so unique. So, and I think that my mannerism, talking about mentors, my mannerism and how I project on the TV show is basically hers, because how it happened was that when I opened for Lidia, and I was this young Italian woman, 1971, doing it was actually 81 when we opened for Lidia, doing this because I decided to do regional Italian food versus Italian American food. Yes. And so risotto, polenta, all of these things. And she came in with James Beard, the two of them. Can you imagine?
No. Oh, wait, hold on. So James Beard and Julia Child
came into Lidia. They're both two towering figures. And so we gave them a big table, nice table, they were comfortable. And she was, but you know what, Margaret? I didn't know the magnitude of that lady at that time. I was a young chef. Sure. I knew I had seen her on television and all of that, and I adored what she did and how she did it. But the legacy that she is, she has become ever more. She still is growing in America. It's just wonderful. Well, anyway, they came in, and she was all set for a mushroom risotto. She wanted a mushroom risotto. I guess, at that time, risottos weren't in Italian restaurants as much. I made it, she loved it. They came back again. She wanted to learn how to make it. She came to my house. Can you imagine? I gave her the lesson in risotto, and then we sat down and we ate, and my family, of course, came and whatever, made risotto. And my father and my husband played the accordion. And so he pulled out the accordion and started playing some Italian folk. And we were singing. Don't you think she got into the singing? She didn't know what she was singing. But she was, and I was looking at her, what is she enunciating? But she was in there, she was mimicking or something. Aww. And it was so wonderful to see how she was swaying. And we caught her even on tape. Sometimes it shows on my shows. Yes. It comes up. And so I think that was a very, very charming moment where she really became part of my family. And then we kept the connection all the time until the last of her, I guess, days or months. She moved down to Santa Barbara, I think she was. Yes. And so I went to visit her just a few weeks before, and we would go on there's the piers, and. We go for lunch or for dinner, whatever. I don't remember. She liked her martini. She said, "Let's stand up martini." And I says, "Okay, Julia." And it was great. It was great to see her enjoy life, enjoy herself, and so she always remained very close to me in my heart, very much. And because of her, because she had asked me to go. Become part of her show. She did the MasterChef series, and we did 2 episodes. And that's when the producer says, Lidia, you're pretty good. How about a show? And that's how it all started.
All through Julia. Well,
again, cheers.
Cheers to Julia Child.
Salute.
And thank you for sharing that. I wish, because I started my journey much later. I wish I had had the opportunity to meet her, but
Yeah, well, her legacy, I mean, you can still feel her and her legacy.
Absolutely.
And the influence that she has left on this cooking field that is America.
Yes, exactly, and that you continue to share as well.
In my own little way.
Oh, in your own huge way. So, foodie friends, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Lidia, for this opportunity.
My pleasure,
Such
my pleasure.
an honor. And make sure you get the cookbook. Make sure you check out the PBS show. Try the restaurants. Visit Italy as well, to the vineyards. And always remember to take a moment and savor the day.